Hi, I'm Thaddeus Campbell. This is Matthew Morse, social worker from Maple Shade High School, and this is Stairway to STEM. Matt, you and I have built a strong relationship over the last couple of years working with my son who has ASD, and I really wanted to pick your brain to help other parents who maybe felt like I did before getting in contact with you, a little unaware of how do I communicate with the school system for my child who we already know they have autism. Who should I contact? Who do I talk to? And how do I make sure that the school knows what's going on with our child?
Well, you should be in contact with your case manager. So depending on which state we're talking about, so in New Jersey, the case manager is not the teacher. So parents would be calling me and asking and explaining to me what's been going on, and we'll be talking about what's happening in school and kind of comparing notes.
How does a parent's interaction with the school affect the school's ability to help their child?
I think it's tremendous. I encourage parents to be in contact with the school as much as possible. Communication, because you're seeing, other things that we might not be seeing. You know your kid better than we do, so that's always something that is on my mind, and it's and if parents aren't reaching out to me, I'd like to try to reach out to parents as much as possible.
What specifically, when you do interact with parents, are you applying to what might be happening in a regular school day?
Well, I'm really looking at skill. I'm really looking at trying to identify what are a student's strengths regarding skills, and also looking at where are the weaknesses. But I want to see if it's happening at home and it's happening at school, because I might be teaching a student something and they might not be able to generalize it and do the same thing in other situations. So that's something that we'll need to figure out how to work with.
Get on the same page as far as what we're doing at home and at school. Now I'm a parent. I envision STEM for my child. I'm thinking they're going to go to postgraduate something. How do I communicate that to the school, and how is that then used by the school in what you're doing?
So, student with an IEP starting in 8th grade or age 14, or if it's appropriate earlier, that conversation should be starting. When you have your annual review, that should be part of the annual review. There's a section in the IEP that really talks about, or actually prompts us all to think about, where is that student going and how are we going to get there? And what do we need to do in order to get there?
Last question I have for you. We've established the plan's in action. We're seeing the results that we want to see. Now a parent's getting ready as an 11th grader going into 12th grade to start pursuing something postgraduate. What services does the school offer to help a parent then be able to make those connections into what the next step is going to be?
So you would be working with the case manager as well as the school counselor, because their expertise is in knowing what are the criteria for that a student needs to be able to do in order to be successful post-graduation. So if a student is going to college, that school counselor is going to know better about what are the demands, whether or if you're going to doing a certificate program, that counselor should know what's needed in order to be successful.
And send the parent in the right direction for who they should be talking to next.
Absolutely. And also it's working with that case manager, because it's something that's important to me. I also want to know those things too, because a lot of times I'll be the first person that a parent will be in contact with, and part of my job is to steer a parent to those resources, but also I want to be able to know what those resources are so that I can tell a parent and help to normalize what that process might be.
Love it. Matthew Moore, social worker, Maple Shade High School. I'm Thaddeus Campbell. This is Stairway to STEM.